Hubbell Elementary School was authorized last spring as an International Baccalaureate World School, making them the first elementary school in the state of Iowa to offer the IB Primary Years program. We'll talk to Hubbell's IB coordinator, Michelle Hurlburt, about how they've been implementing this learning method, next on Classroom Connections. Hi, and welcome to Classroom Connections, a public affairs discussion on issues important to students, teachers, and parents in the Des Moines Public Schools. I'm your host, Sarah Taylor. 9 schools in the Des Moines Public School District have been working hard to implement the International Baccalaureate program into their schools over the past few years. The IB model is a school-wide program providing a framework for teaching and learning that engages students in guided inquiry centered on universal concepts. Last year, Hubbell Elementary became the first elementary school in Iowa to be authorized as an IB World School. Joining me today to talk about the learning experiences at Hubbell is their IB coordinator, Michelle Hurlburt. Thank you for joining me, Michelle.
Thanks for having me.
So, Hubbell was authorized as an IB World School last year after implementing the program for 3 years. What has this meant over the past 4 years? What has happened at Hubbell?
It's been a busy 4 years. International Baccalaureate is really a school improvement model for continuous growth and improvement. Okay. So we've kind of explored several topics over the course of the last 3 or 4 years. Concept-based teaching and learning, inquiry teaching, authentic assessment, international mindedness. So the first 3 years of the program, we've spent a lot of time just learning about the framework, okay, the elements of the program, and then working on writing our curriculum. So the curriculum itself is concept-based, so we really delved into the district curriculum, pulled out all the big concepts and ideas, and then wrote units of inquiry around those big ideas. So for instance, a student would learn about the water cycle, for instance, and then instead of just stopping with that, they would go on and talk about how, or explore how the water cycle is part of the bigger idea of water being a limited resource that is unevenly distributed around the world. Okay. So they get to that bigger understanding. In addition, inquiry is kind of the model for the delivery model for instruction. So we spent a lot of time exploring what inquiry-based teaching and learning looks like in the classroom. And that's been a shift for teachers and students. We are able to offer students more autonomy in what they want to learn about and what they want to research within that big idea. And really focused on asking more questions and higher level questions. Okay. So we've seen the shift with our kids initially they would ask a lot of surface level questions, or even just try to provide us with what they thought we wanted to hear, rather than really delving into what they wanted to know. And so we've seen a shift with that as well. Wow. Along those same lines, assessment and student self-assessment is a big part of the program. So we've spent a lot of energy getting students to reflect on their own learning and self-assess. And then the program itself places a big value on international mindedness. And so having the students start with their community, really learning about their community here, but then also the understanding that if something happens here, it's probably happening on the other side of the world also. And so we really want students to understand that they're part of a bigger connected system, and together we can make the world a better, more peaceful place.
Well, great. So your 5th graders were required in April to participate in a primary years program exhibition. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. The exhibition is the culminating event for the primary years program. So over the course of their 6 years at Hubbell, they're developing all of these new understandings and ideas about themselves and the world around them. And then in their final year of the program, they select a local issue with global significance that they're passionate about. Okay. They explore that issue through interviews, research, field experiences, things like that. About 4 to 6 weeks of that exploration. And then along the way through what they learn about the issue, they then are required to take action to impact the issue. Okay. So we had students researching and exploring all kinds of topics, from child abuse and child obesity to drugs, to cancer, animal neglect, endangered animals, all kinds of issues. And then as they learned about those issues, then they took some sort of action. For instance, we had students do sport camps for younger students at Hubbell. They picked up litter around Hubbell. We had collections for the Animal Rescue League that we delivered there. So lots of different student action that went on to support that program in their learning.
So we have Park Avenue and Stowe Elementary Schools, as well as Goodrell and Merrill Middle Schools recently became authorized. Will your staff be collaborating with the staff at those schools?
Yes, we will continue our collaboration with the other primary years program schools, which are the elementary schools that you mentioned.
Okay.
We have the early dismissal Wednesdays, which are huge for us as an IB network of schools to get together and grow professionally and have that time to collaborate. So we're really looking forward to those early dismissals next year.
So tell us what the Hubbell families and staff can look forward to for next year.
Well, since it is a model of school improvement and continuous growth, we're going to just really get better at what we're currently doing and really continue to shape our units so that they're conceptual, infuse more inquiry, and really get kids involved, continue to keep parents involved in the curriculum, and just get better at what we're doing.
Wonderful. So there are 3 schools that are currently working towards IB authorization in the district, and those are Walnut Street School, Gateway Middle School, and Meredith Middle School, and Central Academy was authorized in 2009. So how can folks find out more information about the IB program?
The Des Moines website has a lot of good information. The IB website, of course, at ibo.org is full of information. And then just coming out and visiting the schools is a great way to just kind of see for yourself what the IB program is all about.
Okay, great. Well, thanks, Michelle. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. Don't forget, this and all other Classroom Connections episodes are available on our website. For Classroom Connections, I'm Sarah Taylor. Thanks for watching.